All right, with me here is Vitas, who is the CEO of eskimi.com. I'm very, very, very delighted to be doing this interview. Hi, Vitas. I'm very delighted to be doing this interview because, like I mentioned, I had heard about Eskimi previously, about how over 40% of your users are based in Nigeria, and I think the fact that you're based in Lithuania is pretty amazing. And I really wanted to hear more about your story. So when I heard from you, I was pretty delighted. So I can't wait to share your story with the world. So welcome. My first question would basically be to hear more about Eskimi and when you founded it and all that. So if you could start off with that, that would be great.
Okay. So thank you very much for this opportunity to talk to you. Also, it was I found your internet. I think it's really interesting to share this technology kind of ideas. And more about Eskimi, the company actually we have founded in 2006. And originally we were working more with mobile content and mobile portals. And only in 2010 actually we decided to switch to one product because before that we had a lot of different projects going in one time, and we were jumping from one to another. And then we decided in 2010 to focus to one. All team efforts were focused to one project. And we just took the most successful project from our portfolio. That was Eskimi. It was launched at that time in Lithuania and Latvia, also in the Baltic states. Mm-hmm. And we made some marketing tests worldwide, and we saw that, of course, naturally, where the biggest growth in mobile phones and mobile data usage was, that's where the service picked up. And it started growing in Africa and Asia and Latin America.
Phenomenal.
But later on, we focused more on Africa and Asia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. So I'm just curious, you based it on your experience, because I'm sure you have a wealth of experience in the mobile and social area. What would you say, made Eskimi specifically successful?
Well, I think one thing, the most important one, is that we found a market that is growing. And mm-hmm. when you are in the market which grows a lot, it helps you a lot, of course, in growing your own product. Mm-hmm. Another thing is that we actually had a product fit for Africa. Mm-hmm. And we really have a better product fit for Africa than for Asia, because African people like more exposing themselves than their avatars or virtualized things. So for example, for Asia, we have different kinds of kind of virtualization stuff for the user. Mm-hmm. So in Africa, I would say that we just kind of came to Africa in the right time, right. and there was the place was right also. So we saw, I mean, in Nigeria, Kenya, all the markets around, like Ghana, we saw the growth actually from day one when we started doing this.
Wow.
And we grew from I think we had like 50,000 users in 2010 December, and mm-hmm. we finished the year of 2011 with 2.2 million.
Amazing! Wow. So did you put any effort into marketing, or this was just word of mouth, just spread on its own and boom?
When we started the project, actually we call it like market sampling. I mean, we were targeting different segments. We were targeting devices. We were targeting. We're trying to market product into different channels, different ad networks, but I would say that only like 5% of our customer base is acquired through marketing, mm-hmm. and this was done mainly to understand the markets, to do the researches, to get the data from the customers, and all the rest, 95%, actually grew word of mouth. And it's not like in other countries we use like viral techniques like Facebook or kind of somehow incentivize users, but in Africa it was pure word of mouth. And we actually were very much surprised when we were asking the customers, how did you know about the service? And everyone was saying that, I mean, just we got the recommendation from a friend. That was
Amazing.
actually making.
Wow. And it's just to understand the dynamics or the typical profile of your user. Would you say that most of your users are smartphone users or feature phone users?
Currently, most of our users are feature phone users, but we see a slight growth of smartphones. But still, I mean, 90% of the users are using feature phones.
Fantastic. And I feel like that's very important to note because I feel like in this market, if you develop a product that meshes well with feature phone users, it just pretty much takes off, which I think might be a big part of, the reason why it became so popular, especially
Yeah.
amongst Nigerians. So, touching, based on what we've discussed and the fact that you think a lot of your users are among the feature phone user base, who would you say your main competitors are? Would you say it's a Facebook or Mixit, or who exactly would you say your main competitors are?
Well, I think main competitor would be products like To Go, which are focused mainly to feature phone markets. Mixit is more kind of targeted to South Africa. We already kind of we saw some growth in South Africa from December also, but still this is not our main market. We do not see competition with Facebook because we try to kind of address a different kind of needs of the customers. Facebook is a real social graph communication, and we are more focused on finding new friends kind of area. So that's why we see Facebook as more a helping product for us, because we have some Facebook application that also helps with our retention, and I think in the future Facebook will not be the competitor, but it will help us grow also.
Okay.
But the real competitor currently, I think there are some smaller services in the market, but To Go would be the biggest one, I would say.
Okay, great. And just so people have a strong understanding of what your numbers are like. So, based on the numbers you shared with me, about 4 million plus users globally, right?
Right.
And then 1.5 million plus of those are located in Nigeria. Then I think you said
About 2 million, yeah.
it's up to 2 million now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yes, Nigeria is a big market, but in a sense, like it's just phenomenal how like 50% of your user base is from this market. So would you say there are some features of Eskimi that appeal specifically to Nigerians, or is it just that Nigerians are just heavy mobile social users?
Well, Nigeria is the biggest markets of all, so this is maybe the main reason. If we take the percentage of the markets, I would say that we have similar penetration in Ghana. We're close to that in Kenya and Tanzania, and we are growing also in other African markets. But I would say that Nigeria is one thing the biggest, second thing mostly developed in this area. And I'm talking about operators, pricing plans, all this stuff. So probably these things. And when we compare the usage numbers, for example, how many users use the service daily, so it's, I would say this is that this statistic is similar in throughout the countries actually.
Okay. So it's basically a numbers game. This is a huge market, so it just makes sense.
I think yes.
Okay, great.
Of course, I mean, in Nigeria, there's a kind of this market size also helps us, because we have a lot of customers coming daily. That means that the service for other users is better. I mean, so they can find more people to chat with. So
a great
in small market, it's kind of harder to grow. So so this also helps.
Okay, great. What kind of growth plans do you have for 2012? You've grown aggressively in the past 1 year, and I can imagine that perhaps you expect that growth rate to continue. So what numbers are you looking from Eskimi in Nigeria by the end of 2012?
Yeah, this one is recorded, so probably we can roll back it
I
12,
know, at
12
the
months.
end.
Yeah, well, we have some plans. I mean, we do not plan a year ahead, but we plan like 6 months usually.
Okay.
We plan to have additional. Well, we had actually a very good December, so this is the main kind of month that we use for our data and planning in December.
Oops. Hello.
1 million customers. We have to surpass
Sorry,
actually 10
Vitas?
million somewhere in July.
Okay. Sorry, if you don't mind, can you just repeat the last thing you said? Because I think I lost you.
Yeah.
Can you
Can you
please
hear me
repeat
well?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly well now, but I lost the last thing you said. So if you can just
Okay.
repeat it.
Okay. Yeah, so in December only we had additional 1 million customers coming to the site registering. So
Wow.
so this was the kind of the month that we grew the fastest, and we intend to sustain that growth, and we plan to surpass 10 million customers in the first half of the year.
Okay.
So this is the plan actually that we kind of hope to have. In July, we want to have 10 million customers.
Fantastic. How are you monetizing?
We use two business models. One is actually three, but the third one is just kind of launched last month. We use traditional mobile advertisement. That means that it's ad networks and just kind of automatic revenue. And we also we have virtual goods integrated into the product, so people can buy different kind of additional features. It's VIP status. It's some kind of things that help you communicate. There's private profiles that are kind of premium. So all these features also are paid by users by sending an SMS. So this is another source of revenue that we have.
Okay, super.
And the third one is brand activation that we just started doing.
Okay. Okay, great. So I guess the last thing I would ask is, so you mentioned that you don't really see yourself as a Facebook competitor, and I'd just like to touch on that a little bit more, because I'm trying to understand this. What I'm trying to understand is it that you don't see the typical Facebook user as someone you like on Eskimi? Like, so you're targeting a different kind of market segment, or what exactly is it? What differentiates the typical Eskimi user from the typical Facebook user? And which market do you think is bigger?
Well, if you look at the European market, there's a dating space or friend finder space, and there's a Facebook space. I mean, there were some products in this space earlier, but there are none now. So there are actually where you communicate with your real friends from your real life, but there are times when you want to find friends for chatting, just for spending time. And some of the customers and some of the users want to find a love date or something like that. So I mean, there are two different spaces and they do not overlap. Facebook is not used for dating and for finding new friends, and Eskimi is used for that. So we see that we think that Facebook eventually will grow kind of faster than Eskimi, but we see Eskimi as a more kind of more fun brother that you can spend time, find new friends, and later on play games and so on. So it's we are not competing because we are targeting different needs of the customers.
Right. Great. Thanks for the clarification. And just before I forget, so I saw that you were looking for a country manager in Nigeria, which I think makes perfect sense, giving you a strong growth rate here. So just for the benefits of our readers, are you still looking for someone?
No, we already found that.
Oh, you already found someone. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
just making sure in case there was someone out there who needed a job and would have done a fantastic job growing your market here. All right, thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, I've always wanted to hear your story, and I'm very, very, very glad to have the opportunity to chat with you. So thanks very much, Vitas.
Yeah, thank you. It was my pleasure.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
All right.